Okay, this is my Sprint 7 video. Take 2 because my mic freaked out last time, so praying that doesn't happen again. Where are we? Okay, so collision volume. So I'm going to start with. So collision volume base class doesn't really do much right now. B-sphere has the center and radius. Gonna go back to the other stuff later. Main thing it does is compute data, where you pass in model, matrix, gets the center, just multiplies by the matrix. If there's scaling, it gets that, blah blah blah, scales the circle as needed, or the sphere as needed. Yes. Oh, I meant to have the sprint pulled up, it's fine. So next is the collidable it now has a B-sphere and the model. So when you set the model, you save that, and then when you update the collision data, you just call B-sphere compute data with the model in the matrix. So in the frigate, for instance, you set the model at the beginning, the collider model, just give it a pointer to the model that we use, and then every time you change the world data, you need to update the collision data so that the sphere follows the object around. Next is the actual testing. So now the tests actually do stuff. Loops through all the different pairs, nothing smart yet. Does the intersection test in the math tools. So this Gemini math tools is just a stateless class and has this math right here for two bounding spheres intersecting, and then process the callbacks if it returns true. Same for the self command. Does the same thing, and then I have the built-in red and blue coloring. So for the visualizer, I changed the name to be more explicit that it's a command pattern. So we have submit B-sphere visualization. Had to do a lot of stuff with attorneys and stuff to make this all work, but the collision volume. Basically, I didn't want to have to keep creating visualization commands, so each collision volume has its own visualize sphere command that you create when you create the volume, and you give it a pointer to this volume. And then when you create or you add that command to the list, you just set the color that you want and then push it back into the list. So you get the visualization command for this B-sphere. Then in Gemini draw, you go through an attorney so that the user doesn't access it, and do the visualize all in the visualizer, which loops through all of the commands you've added up in the past frame and executes them. So when you execute a visualization command, I have visualization command base and then a B-sphere command. So it actually calls the show B-sphere, and it has the B-sphere in the color saved in the command. Okay, so then you build the matrix that you need to place the sphere, like so, and then you render the sphere. So there's only one sphere that the visualizer creates when you create it, and then you just move it around to wherever you need for that specific B-sphere. Yeah, I think that's everything for that. So here's my testing. I have the frigate and the cottage. Clearly they turn red when they collide, and when they don't, they are blue. You can scale up with V and B the frigate and still see that the bounding sphere adjusts as needed and works. So yeah, just to be clear, there's nothing about visualization in the frigate or the cottage. No models being made or anything. It's all done within the visualizer and through the testing commands. So that is that. In terms of progress on my game, I will just go ahead and run it. So have kind of like toy tank kind of thing. So collisions are working when you collide with a enemy tank. It just stops in its tracks. Also some simple enemy AI. Every 4 seconds, the enemies find where you are and then head towards you for 4 seconds. Oop, you can go off the edge of the plane. And then turn to face you again. So they don't shoot or anything. They actually can't damage you at all, but I can damage them. So if I hit them twice, they go away. So the collisions are working with the bullets and the enemies. So they're just going to keep spawning. There's 4 on the field at a time. And then if I run into these obstacles on the just in the level, I stop and I can't move. So just going to add more obstacles, and obviously the enemies need to actually damage you. So some more stuff to add, but making a little progress. Yeah, that's all I got for this sprint.